You know that feeling when you're totally stuck on a problem, but a quick chat with a friend just makes everything click? Well, it turns out that exact same idea, that power of collaboration, might just be the secret to building way, way smarter AI. Today, we're diving into some incredible new research that's teaching AI how to learn in a study group.
So, to really get why this is such a huge deal, we have to ask a really basic question. How does an AI actually get smarter? For the longest time, the answer has been practice, 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 but always by itself. We're about to see why that might be missing a huge piece of the puzzle.
All right, let's break down how AI training usually works. On the left, you've got single agent learning. That's the classic approach. One AI learning all on its own. In the middle, there's the old way of thinking about teamwork, where a bunch of AIs work together, but the individuals don't actually get any smarter from it. And then on the right, you see the game changer from this paper, interactive learning, or ILR. The goal here isn't just to get the right answer, it's for the AIs to actually teach each other, so each one walks away a better problem solver all on its own.
To really wrap your head around this, let's think about the old way with an analogy. I like to call it the lonely genius problem.
So, most AI models today are trained like this brilliant mind, kind of locked in a room, just trying to figure things out through trial and error. And look, this is foundational stuff. It works, but only up to a point. It's got some pretty serious blind spots.
Because, what happens when that lonely genius hits a wall? The obvious answer seems to be, hey, let's give it a team. But the way AI teams used to work, well, it didn't actually fix the root problem for the individual AI.
And this is exactly where that old teamwork idea falls apart. Sure, they could solve a problem as a group, but that's where it ended. The individual AIs didn't get any better for the next problem. That means they'd always need the team to do well. It's kind of like having the answer key for a test, but never actually learning the material yourself.
Which brings us to the really elegant solution from this new research, a method that really leans into a true study group dynamic.
So here's the absolute key, right here in the definition of ILR. This is a framework where AIs interact, they cooperate, they compete, they give each other feedback, all with the single goal of making each other smarter as individuals. The collaboration itself is the training. It's not just a crutch to get the right answer.
But okay, how does this AI study group decide how to work together? This is where it gets really, really clever. They don't just blindly cooperate on everything. They make a strategic choice.
And this just shows you how smart this dynamic is. Before they even start, the AIs look at a problem and figure out how hard it is. If it looks really tough, something they'd probably struggle with alone, they choose to cooperate. But if the problem seems pretty easy, they switch gears and compete, challenging each other to find the best, most elegant solution. It's this super adaptive strategy that feels a lot like how we humans work in groups.
And this isn't just a wild guess. This whole decision is powered by a pretty sophisticated method called item response theory. It's basically a way for an AI to accurately judge how hard a problem is compared to its own skill level. It's the secret sauce that makes this whole strategic choice possible.
Okay, so they've decided whether to cooperate or compete. But what does that interaction actually look like? Well, it follows this really structured three-step discussion.
It's called the Idea 3 framework, and it's super logical. Step 1 is idea sharing. Each AI puts its initial thoughts on the table. Next up is idea analysis. This is where they act like peer reviewers, critiquing each other's work. And the final crucial step is idea fusion, where they take all the best parts and synthesize them into one new and usually much better solution.
And that really is the heart of this whole thing. As the researchers themselves put it, this entire system is designed from the ground up to mimic a real human discussion. The productive, critical, and collaborative kind.
So the theory is beautiful, it's inspired by how we learn, but does it actually work? Let's get to the numbers, because the results here are seriously impressive.
Right off the bat, across a whole range of tests, the models trained with this study group method got up to a 5% performance boost over the strongest AIs trained alone. Now, that might not sound huge, but in this field, a consistent 5% jump is a really big win. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. Just look at the data in this table. For the Llama model, the score jumped from around 38% to over 41%. For the Quen model, it pushed performance up even higher. The pattern is crystal clear. This ILR training consistently makes the best methods even better.
But this is the most stunning result of all. They tested this on Amy problems. We're talking ultra-hard, competition-level math questions. The results were just staggering. The best model trained the old way, on the left, it scored 5%. The model trained with ILR, on the right, scored 10%. It literally doubled its ability to solve some of the toughest reasoning problems you can find. That's not just an improvement, that is a massive leap forward.
So, what does all of this mean for the big picture? Let's zoom out for a second and really nail down the key takeaways here.
So here's the bottom line. This research proves that having AIs learn in a study group makes them smarter individually. That dynamic choice, when to cooperate and when to compete, is just a flat-out better strategy. It helps them develop a kind of reasoning that feels more robust, more, well, human. This is a huge shift, moving away from that lonely genius model toward a future of genuinely collaborative learners.
And that kind of leaves us with a pretty deep final thought to chew on. For all of human history, we've known that collaboration is the bedrock of our own progress and intelligence. So if we've now successfully taught our most powerful machines to learn in that same way, what does that mean for the future of intelligence itself, both ours and theirs?